Good morning, CSA. Happy Wednesday. As promised, I'm going to record a video going over the first problem in the set that I gave you. The number 51, Accumulator Method Challenge. So all these problems are requiring you to write some methods. And some are trickier than others. This is considered a challenge problem, so I suppose it's one of the trickier ones. So we need to make a method header on line 2. It needs to return an integer, and it needs to be called count string, and it has 2 parameters. Public static, it's returning an int called count string, and it has 2 parameters, string str, string to find. We already have our curly braces. They're not cuddled. I'm going to cuddle mine. All right. So what this needs to do is it needs to find how many times is to find contained within string. There's a bunch of ways you can do this. I'm just going to try away and see if it works. So first I'm going to find the length of to find. Int to find length equals to find dot length. I was just doing Python. Now I'm like, can't remember if that's correct. Yep, that's fine. All right. So the reason I want to know that length is I'm going to use a technique of searching for substrings within the main string, and then I'll use those to, I'll use the length to advance past that substring for the next one. Although if you have 2 of the same words, that might not work. Well, we'll try it. So, how do I want to do this? I need to loop. I'm going to start by finding the substring. So I'm going to say int sub index. So this is going to tell me where the beginning of this substring is. So it's going to be to find, nope, string dot, how do you search for a substring? I was looking at an example, index of, I'm really slow this morning, index of, and I'm going to do index of to find. That's going to tell me the first location of that. Oh, one other thing I need is a counter to count how many occurrences. Int count equals 0. So I'm going to loop while sub index is greater than or equal to 0, because it'll return -1 if it can't find the string. And then here I'm going to return count. So if it enters this loop, that means it found at least 1 sub index. So I'm going to add 1 to count. And then I need to do another substring, but I need to move forward where I'm searching for. So I can't just search from the beginning. I need to search a substring of the whole string. So I'm going to do string dot substring of subindex plus to find length. So that'll advance me on. And then I'm going to do dot index of to find. And this is going to be sub index. I'm just going to try to move this over. That's probably not quite right, but cannot find symbol. Have a feeling I am trapped here. Stop. I think I have entered an infinite loop. All right, what did I do wrong? So I'm gonna put some print statements in here to debug this bad boy. I'm gonna try to print out what these are. That way I can see what's going on. Do print statements not appear? I'll refresh here, make sure what's going on. I'm sure I'm just missing something stupid. Oh, now it went through. 0020. That's because it ran. Yeah, so there it's caught in that infinite loop. 0303. So the first test it ran, it found it at index 0. And then it should have looked here to the end, and it should have found it again right here. I'm going to parse this out so I can do more debugging. I'm just going to get that remaining substring, and I'm going to call it remaining. And then I'm going to print that. And then when I do the index of, I'll just do remaining. Okay, stop. Okay. So it found it at 0. It cut the rest of it. The new subindex was 3. It got the remainder. It found it at the beginning. Oh, but then it went backwards. Remaining. Oh, yeah, I should keep shortening. I shouldn't call this remaining. I should just shorten the real string every time. Because what was happening is it was continually going back to the beginning because of the way I did the indexes, which was foolish. Okay. I think that worked now. So, convoluted way to get there. Sometimes the brain's firing well, sometimes not. Let's run this. It should give 3 and 4, I believe. And then let's run the tests and see what happens. Tests are good. All right. So basically what this does, let me go back through it. Start with the count. This is just getting the length of the string I'm trying to find. I'm just doing it once, so I don't have to keep doing that. Sub index is within the string. What's the index of the first occurrence of to find? As long as that's greater than 0, I'm still finding more. Index of returns -1 if it can't find it. So if it's greater than 0, I found at least 1. Add to the count. Now take my original string and make a substring that's from the index I found the to find at plus the length of that. So I'm proceeding past that. And then I'm going to look again to try to find the to find string. If it didn't get found, it'll be -1. The loop will be over. It'll return the count. Otherwise, it'll enter and do that again. And then that should pass you and be onward. So I apologize for the stilted explanation, but hopefully that gets you started. Let me just take a quick peek at a couple of the other ones. If I go this way. 52. Yeah, so here they're telling you how to compare strings to see, well, characters, not strings, which one's greater than or less than. It's basically using the ASCII values. So A is less than B. That's because it comes before it first in the alphabet. That one shouldn't be too bad. 53. Insert spaces after every character in the string S. Then it return the new. Couple ways you could do this. You could just loop through the length of the input string of space out and then copy those letter by letter into a new string, putting spaces in between them. You could also, and that's going to be the easiest way to do it. Replace all instances of CH with an asterisk. There's a handy string method that would make that very easy if you Google and look at some of the string methods. Return a new string built from S that has every instance of the search term surrounded by parentheses. So you could loop through this string, and when you find what you're looking for, and just as you loop through it, copy one by one and do a new string. And when you find what you're looking for, copy a parenthesis, the thing you're looking for, and the closing parenthesis. I think that first one I did is the hardest one on these. Return a new string built from S that has every instance of the search term. Oh, that's the one I just did. I think I skipped one in here, but make a post to, must have been this one. Post to Piazza if you have questions about any of these. Oh, this is not bad. Just write a loop, for loop, but instead of doing I plus 1, do I plus 3. So start at 0 and do 3. And then just grab the indexes at your I's and copy them to a new string. Anyway, if you have questions, email me, post to Piazza. I'm around and wanting to help. Have a week.